What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this, we have India banned its own flag. What do you banned its own flag? Before we dive into this video and figure out what's going on here, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up. Let's find out what's going on with this flag.
Imagine it's 1983. India just won its first Cricket World Cup, so you grab your national flag, scramble flag waving down the street, and then the police shows up and puts you in handcuffs. What just happened? Well, you just did a crime. India might be independent since 1947, but even half a century later, flying the Indian flag by Indians in India was forbidden. Responsible for national flag use limitations are two laws. The emblems in
You can't fly? What? Back then you couldn't fly your own flag? Was this when they was being held down by the British?
Names Prevention of Improper Use Act of 1950, cool name, and the Prevention of Insults to National Honor Act of 1971. Emblems Act 1950 says, use of certain emblems and names, including the national flag, for commercial purposes without approval not allowed. Meaning, you can't sell any, steel beams.
Even for commercial purposes, you would think that it would be allowed. Like, it's the flag.
With a big Indian flag on the steel beam packaging. If you do, you pay a 500 rupee fine. That's $5.78. To be fair, in India 1950, you get a soda and 3 bauxite mines for that. That can't be right. Okay, it's only a measly 2 average annual salaries. Insults Act 1971 says, insults to the Indian flag result in a fine of unspecified amount. Could even be 551 rupees. Please, Your Honor, that's too many rupees. Such an insane sum of rupees doesn't even exist. Or up to 3 years in prison. Debit card cool with you? Or a fine of unspecified amount and up to 3 years in prison. And if you do it again, it's at least a year. Your Honor, that's so mid. But notice anything?
Hey, so they said absolutely no disrespect to the Indian flag. We gonna give you a fine of an unspecified amount. So we gonna as soon as we see it, we gonna figure out how much exactly we want you to pay. That's what we gonna do. And you gonna go to jail because it's disrespectful.
Huh? Both laws don't mention anything like general flag use prohibited, and still it was so. But how? Let me introduce the Flag Code of India, a compilation of rules governing who, why, how can do things with the Indian national flag or not. Government directive, not law. Write that down, gonna need it later. In this here flag code, it says in specific, usually flying the flag only on important government buildings allowed. Stop! What's all this? Only allowed on important government buildings. Are you an important government building? No. But my father. Ha! Which? Parliament. Ha! My bad. Have a nice day. Only on important government buildings implicitly means flag use generally prohibited, except where explicitly allowed, or national holiday like Independence Day, Republic Day, National Week, or Gandhiji's birthday. That's bad though. Why would you do that? Because you don't trust your people with their national flag. Idea goes, if every person in India is allowed to use the flag insults, intentionally or otherwise, inevitable. One flies it upside down, one lets it lie in the mud, one uses it for underwear. In order for that not to happen, better to massively limit its use in the first place. And not so dumb actually. The fewer people fly the flag, the fewer people can mess it up. Pure mathematics.
I feel that, but still, they want to show pride in the country, and you do that. I mean, there's many ways to do that, but one of the ways to do that is flying that flag. That's wild for me.
Also, flag use strictly is regulated much more likely by honorable government officials than by a 6-year-old with a felt tip pen up her nose. My problem with it, that's a rule in the vein of, I don't go out so a piano can't fall on my head. Effective, but maybe a little overkill. Cause what's the goal? Flag insults per year down to 0? Can't do it. For every draconian ban, there's 10 geniuses doing it anyway just because. Flag insults reduced as much as possible? That's more like it. Only don't be surprised when people aren't giving a hoot about the flag anymore. If a
Yeah,
political
that's what I'm
elite are the
saying.
only ones allowed to use a flag, that's not a national flag anymore. That's a state flag. A flag
Thank
not
you.
for the Indian people, but for those few dudes working the levers.
There
How
you
you
go.
gonna identify with that? I don't?
That's exactly. I 100% agree with that. It's not. It's yeah. If the people can't fly, it's not a national flag. It's a flag only for the elite, and that's BS.
You don't. But if you paid close attention, like a one-armed woodworker, you noticed that I spake in past tense. Use of the flag was forbidden. You were a nice kid with potential. Today, you bring a bag of rubber bands to the park to hunt for pigeons and call it brunch. Damn it! And the Indian national flag, withheld from its population for decades, can today be flown by everyone in the country.
There you
A
go.
thank you would be in order. Thank you. To whom though? Thanks belong to one single man who wouldn't take it any longer, who was prepared to clash with the whole Indian political elite, equipped only with deep love for his country, a gigantic inheritance, and valuable connections in business and politics. My hero! Main character of our story is Navin Jindal, son of an Indian industrialist. 1992, Navin, like every other Indian boy, gets his Master of Business Administration in Dallas, Texas, USA, sees lots of US flags everywhere, and thinks to himself, hey, awesome, why don't we do it like that in India? Comes home and does it like that in India. He flies a huge Indian flag.
Hey, awesome. Why don't we do it like that in India? Comes home and does it like that in India.
In front of his dad's factory, and everyone's like, oh, who raised that flag? Must be a real patriot. But then, the evil provincial politicians like, you know that's forbidden, yeah? How can it be forbidden when it feels so right? The flag code... What? How can it be... I heard you. That's hell of a weird thing to say, man. Did you fall into a ditch as a child or something? Take down the flag. No, take down the flag. I'll call the cops. And then he called the cops. And Navin had to take the flag down.
Dang,
Big anguish, many pain, but is he gonna give in? No way. Navin fights for his patriotic ideal and takes on the system all on his own. Dad? The legal fight is drawn out for ages. Government like, we say who can use the flag. And Navin like, wrong, I have a constitutional right. And government like, spell that for me, would you? But Navin was correct. There is such a thing called the Constitution of India, with modest ornamentation. Nice, very classy.
Thank you for taking them to court, Naveen. Thank you for changing that, because everybody in India should be able to fly that flag, and it shouldn't be up to the government to say only certain people can fly the flag. That's BS that it was ever even introduced.
It says, Article 19, 1a, all citizens shall have the right to freedom of speech and expression, and flag flying counts as expression. A thing that's often forgotten though, freedom of expression never absolute. One right can be limited to protect another one. That's why it's not a bad idea to think about stuff before you say it, so you don't get into trouble with the law. That's the thing though, the flag code is no law, never passed through parliament, only the government said, this is the flag code, comma, you're gonna follow it. And that's obviously not above the Constitution. Therefore, after years of flag up, flag down, 2004, finally the verdict. Supreme Court says, using the flag is a right of the Indian population. You can't just generally prohibit it. So flag use for the whole population allowed. Oh yeah. And with that, all good. No. What?
Oh.
No. Wanna elaborate on that? No. The flag codes may be not as strict as it once was, but that's still no free play for flag shenanigans. Everyone's allowed to use the flag, but don't you make a mistake, because the Insults Act is waiting just around the corner. And remember, if in violation, up to 3 years in prison and fine. Oh, yeah? And such a mistake is easily made. This is punished. Flag not allowed on clothing below the waist. This is punished. Flag can't touch the ground. And even this is punished. Flag can't include lettering. That's not all though, because Insults Act extremely broadly formulated.
They say, okay, everybody want to fly the flag? Cool, fly the flag. But we got these limitations, and it's fall under the insults, because it's an insult. Flag one below the waist on clothing, insult. Touching the ground, insult. Putting letters on it, insult. all you can do is fly it.
To every act in deed, speech, or writing that shows disrespect to or brings into contempt the Indian national flag is punished. Strictly speaking, even the disrespectful use of a visual representation of the flag, like the one I've just shown, is punished. Oh, cancel India trip. Now wait a sec. There has to be an overt intention to disrespect the flag for someone to be punished. Unintentionally letting the flag touch the ground for a second never qualifies for that. In theory, that's right. Only reality looks a bit different. The Insults Act lands people in court all the time. Someone flies the flags of India and Palestine next to each other, court case. A Muslim procession uses the Indian flag with prayer verses on it, court case. A cake is cut with the Indian flag on it, even that gets a court case. And even if these things always ended well, which they don't, after that, you most likely won't even want to be in the same room with the Indian flag.
No.
Since 2004, all of India can use the national flag.
I said if we can't stop you from using it by law, then we will discourage you with everything that we got. With all the resources we got, we will discourage you from using the flag.
Same time, even the smallest of slips of flag etiquette can land you in prison. Personally, I wouldn't take that chance. Greetings, person behind the screen. I've got some news. For a while now, I've been writing regular update posts talking about the behind the scenes of my videos, answering.
I don't understand, why y'all talk to me in the comment section. Have you guys ever flown the flag? And is it still like that to this day where like you can't put it on a cake, can't wear it below the waist, can't let it touch the ground, can't put writing on it, is it still like that or has it switched up? Y'all talk to me. If you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and check out the next one. I'll see y'all next time.